The other night, I had a date night with my partner, and I decided to put on makeup. And for anyone who knows me, this is like a big deal because I don't usually wear makeup. And as I was putting on the makeup, I was reflecting on how far I've come or how different I am than the 23-year-old me that was just entering the workforce. And of course, my brain goes to, well, what does that mean for gender equality and la la la? And I wondered if we discouraged women from wearing makeup, how would that affect how we are perceived in the office and gender equality at work? And so in the time it takes me to roll, my hands are dirty, roll these energy balls that are super sticky, I wonder if I can get you thinking the same thing. Can discouraging women or encouraging, more so, let's put it in the positive, can encouraging women to come barefaced, natural as they are, into the office be probably one of the most effective ways that we address this very entrenched, long-standing challenge of gender equality at work? I don't know. I think I might have a case. So come, let's dive in. So first, let's start with why I even wore makeup in the first place. When I started working, I wasn't a big makeup wearer in general, but I felt that going into the office, I needed that look, that extra touch that made me professional, feminine, and, to kind of baseline sum it all up, it was the way that I was going to be accepted. It was sort of a prerequisite to being judged professional, competent, and capable. And I just sort of stuck with it. I remember my first job, I was consulting and we traveled a lot. And early morning, I would get up and go to the gym in the hotel. And I remember one time I saw a colleague of mine. Of course, I wasn't wearing makeup at 6 a.m. or whatever. And later that day when I was wearing makeup, I kind of self-deprecatingly joked that, oh, you saw me without my face on. And, he didn't obviously come back and say, I know, you look so horrible then and you look amazing now. Like, obviously, like he said, you look like Jess, just with less sparkle. Which was actually the case. There was less glitter on my face, subdued glitter. I was a consultant after all. But I felt the need to self-deprecate. And I felt the need to make sure that my face was on when I was consulting. And then banking, the same thing. I mean, corporate office, high heels, suit, you had to put mascara and eyeshadow and blush on to finish off the outfit. This was related to the fact that I really struggled in my job. But it got to the point where putting on makeup was a ritual in the morning of preparing myself for the challenges ahead. I hesitate to say it was my armor. It was the way I protected myself and felt ready to enter the office and ready to face what was to come. And the only way that I would be taken seriously.
We have to deal with modern society and perceptions as it is. And for me personally, I own a business and I don't want to put one of my employees into winning a very big contract with very big heads of department who's not wearing makeup.
So I finally ditched the makeup when I joined Startup Land. And I was the only woman on the team, and the guys were classic early stage startup, right? Like jeans, likely a free t-shirt that they had gotten at a conference, earlier that month or whatever. And that was it. Nothing else. And I initially started in my whole corporate look, but then I was like, why am I doing this? Like, I can wear the same thing and it doesn't really matter. And so I did. And we had corporate clients at the time, and I would go without makeup and the world didn't crumble. It was just fine. And that was that. That was the end of Jess wearing makeup. And there were 3 big reasons, besides just sort of me looking around and being like, well, I don't need to, that propelled my reasoning for stopping to wear makeup. So the first reason why I stopped wearing makeup was time. I looked around the room at my colleagues and I said, well, they're not spending 20 or 30 minutes in the morning doing this, and we are, working hard. And well, what else could I do with that 20, 30 minutes? I could probably answer a whole bunch of more emails. I could probably progress on my goals, or you know what? I could sleep. I could take care of myself.
A 2016 study through the American Psychological Association asked women to look at themselves in the mirror for 2 weeks without makeup on. They found that their levels of distress and discomfort went down, and their confidence and compassion towards themselves went up.
The second was, I kind of felt like the emphasis was on the wrong syllable. I wanted how I was perceived to be based on what I contribute, through my inner skills and capabilities, not my external physical appearance. And so that was another good reason for quitting makeup at work. And the third reason, this one really was important for me, which was I wanted my own sense of self-worth to be based on who I really was. We talk a lot about authenticity in the office, and I didn't feel I could be fully authentic, presenting myself, covering up who I was physically. And it's because I wore makeup to cover up things that I wasn't proud of, the really large, sticky hands, really large pores, the redness in my skin, those are things I don't love, and I had a way to cover those up, and so I did. And we cover up other things internally, and so I wanted my confidence to come from who I was internally, and I realized that continuing to put on makeup probably didn't serve that goal of authentic, true to myself confidence. So there you have it. That is my personal experience with going from wearing that full face of makeup to a fully, I should say, not a very, a fully au naturel look at the office, and why I think it, and so, let's expand this out. What if we encouraged women to show up exactly how they wake up and brush your hair, brush your teeth, do what men do, right? Let's clean ourselves up, but not cover ourselves up. I think there's a big difference. And what would that do for, if that could become the norm in the form of acceptance, what could that do for how women feel internally, how men judge and assess women, and how we collaborate and work together? I have to believe that that would have a great impact on finding a more balanced, a more same kind of environment for men and for women, which we know doesn't exist today. So curious on your thoughts, curious on whether this relates, and curious also how you've been multitasking, because let's be clear, we are all doing it, because like all caregivers, time for this kind of stuff probably comes while folding laundry, rolling energy balls, or who knows what. Look forward to your thoughts and keep well.